This is the day that the Lord has made. Hey everyone, my name is Vanessa. I'm a Christian woman. I'm a single mom, doing my best to put God first and follow Jesus Christ as best as I can. I want to share with you all a book that I received the Christmas I was 9 years old. The children's stories of the Bible from the Old Testament and the New Testament. I've already recorded the entire Old Testament. I did one video per chapter. Now I'm in the New Testament. Hopefully you will share this with your children. Chapter 9, The Woman at the Well. John the Baptist continued to preach and to baptize followers after Jesus had begun to become widely known through the country. As Jesus gained more followers, John had less, but he continued to preach that Jesus was the Christ, while he was no more than the voice of one crying in the wilderness to prepare people for the message of Jesus. John was a fearless preacher who condemned sins wherever he found them, no matter how powerful the sinners might be. He even preached against King Herod, the son of the Herod who was king when Christ was born. He attacked the sins of Herod's wife, Herodias, and she demanded that Herod have John killed. Herod feared the truth that John spoke and refused to kill him, but to satisfy his wife and perhaps to protect John from her hatred, he had John imprisoned. Jesus had been teaching in and around Jerusalem in Judea. When he heard that John had been imprisoned in Galilee, he set out for that country. Between Judea and Galilee, in the mountains, there was a country called Samaria, and the people living there were known as Samaritans. The people of Galilee, Judea, and the other places where Christ preached were Jews, but the Samaritans were not part of the nation of Israel. They were related to the Jews, and they worshipped the same God. But they had different forms of worship, and their Bible had only the first 5 books of the Old Testament. They did not regard the prophets as speaking for God. Because of these differences, there had grown up much bad feeling between the Samaritans and Jews. Most Jews traveling from Judea to Galilee usually went way out of their way to avoid passing through Samaria, but Jesus struck out straight across the mountains of Samaria. One morning during this trip, Jesus stopped, very tired, beside a famous old well. This well had been dug by Jacob, the ancestor of all the Israelites, centuries before, and was called Jacob's well. Jesus was thirsty as well as hungry and tired, but he couldn't get water from the well without a jar and a rope to pull it up. His disciples had gone into the nearby village of Sychar to buy food. As he waited, a Samaritan woman came to the well with her jar to draw water. Jesus asked her for a drink. She could tell from his dress and speech that Jesus was a Jew. "How is it," she asked, surprised, "that you, a Jew, ask a drink of me, a woman of Samaria? Jews have no dealings with Samaritans." Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that is saying to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." The woman said, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where do you get that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us this well and drank from it himself and his sons and his cattle?" Jesus said to her, "Everyone who drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. The water that I shall give him will become to him a well of water springing up into everlasting life." The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water, that I may not thirst, nor come here to draw." Then Jesus told the woman the things she had done in her life, which no stranger could have known. The woman was deeply impressed and felt this man must have powers known only to God. She asked him whether the Samaritans were right in worshiping God on the mountain. Their fathers had done, or whether the Jews were right and that Jerusalem was the place where men should go to worship God. Jesus replied, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you shall neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. The hour is coming and is now here when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and truth." And the woman understood that Jesus was saying that a temple was not necessary to worship God, and that he could be worshipped anywhere by those who love his spirit and understand his truth. The woman at the well then said to Jesus, "I know that a Messiah is coming, he who is called Christ, and when he comes, he will show us all things." And Jesus said, "I that speak to you am he." It was then that the disciples returned from the town with food, and the woman left her water jug and went into the town. She told the people, "Come, see a man who told me all that I ever did. Can this be the Christ?" And the people left the town and went to see Jesus at the well. Meanwhile, the disciples offered Jesus the food that they had brought. But Jesus had forgotten about food. "My food," he told them, "is to do this will of him who sent me and to finish his work." The Samaritans were so impressed with the woman's words that when they found Jesus at the well, they asked him to stay and teach them about God. He stayed for 2 days, and many more believed in him when they heard his words. So that's the end of that chapter. I hope you enjoy. I will have a playlist of my Old Testament and the New Testament. If you liked, please subscribe, comment, and I hope to see you next time.